Hello again, Internet. So this is the second video in the paper intervention series, and again, this isn't a paper tutorial, so if you're desperate, definitely look at one of the paper writing tutorials instead and gear it toward the level of desperation you currently feel. This is one of what I hope will be very few sort of come to Jesus is a weird expression given that I myself am Jewish, but the come to Jesus talk is like when you have a heart-to-heart with one of your students and you're like, you better shape up and me. So this is a little something from the heart. I hope I speak for not just me but for a lot of people in the professoriate when I talk about whom, if we're going to be pedantic, whom plagiarism hurts, right? Because a lot of the times when students plagiarize, they turn in work that isn't their own, it's usually out of desperation. Like, very few plagiarists plagiarize maliciously. That's like a special brand of student, and that's like, you have to be a psychopath to do that. So, you know, most people just really need to turn something in, and they don't think they have any other choice. And they say in the end, like, really, this is a victimless crime, or they don't even know it is a crime. Plagiarism is a crime. Unfortunately, my one-woman efforts to felonize plagiarism have not gotten off the ground yet. Otherwise, 75% of undergraduates in America would be wearing ankle bracelets right now. When I called you into my office for an academic dishonesty warning, there would be a cop there ready to read you your rights. Oh, in my fantasy world, that's what my dream world looks like. And in my dream world, the cop is played by, I would say, James Franco, but I don't know if he writes all his own papers. I dare you to refute me, Franco. All right, anyway, so whom does plagiarism hurt? It hurts a lot of people, so many that I couldn't memorize them all, and I had to make a little crib sheet. So if you see me darting down like that, it's not so that you get my best side, though that is, don't you think? Yeah, for sure. Anyway, okay, so, alright, the first person that plagiarism hurts is the least important, and that is me. That's your prof, right? For every hour-and-a-half class that you spend, you know, trolling Facebook or texting or drooling or sometimes paying attention, back in my day we just daydreamt. Anyway, I just sat there spacing out. For every class that you might find boring, your professor has actually spent between maybe 5 and sometimes 10 hours preparing, just working the little tuchus out, getting it ready to impart to you. So when you plagiarize, it really, even though we try to not take it personally, it really hurts our feelings because we think, oh, it would have taken you 1/5 the time that one of our preps took to write this paper, and even that is too much of your precious time. So, you know, we're people, just remember, and it hurts our feelings. Like in the Flight of the Conchords song, I got hurt feelings. Okay, you're missing out if you don't know. Refreshment break. Okay. Hydration. All right, the second person that plagiarism hurts is a group of people, and that is your classmates, because this is what happens when we catch a plagiarist in class. So you get one paper that starts blipping on Turnitin.com, or that like just reads really weird. You can look at the blog for 6 telltale signs of plagiarism to see what I'm talking about, but we can notice it. So we notice it, and then suddenly all of you, everyone in the class is under suspicion. I think, okay, if one of them is doing it, who else is? And sure enough, I start going through things with a fine-tooth comb. Anything that looks a little too weird, I put into Google, up it comes, and then suddenly half the class is getting called into my office, dragged by their ear if we were allowed to. We're not. Corporal punishment, not allowed. Abuse, that could lawsuit. Okay, anyway. Metaphorically dragged in by your ear. So as soon as one plagiarist gets caught, everyone in your class is under suspicion. The professor's going to be in a really bad mood while grading, which, I mean, of course that never happens to me. Of course that never happens to me or anybody I know, but I'm just saying that if they're in a bad mood when they're grading, they might not be as liable to give you the benefit of the doubt if you have something called a comma splice that I'm still not quite sure what it is. Just kidding, I totally know. Okay. Anyway, so you hurt your classmates. And as a result, I come into class and I regard every single one of you with the sort of Larry David stare from Curb Your Enthusiasm. And then you're all suspects. The next group of people that plagiarism hurts is your family, because oftentimes they are helping you pay for your tuition and room, board, and books and everything. A lot of the times they have put a lot of their dreams on hold, made a lot of sacrifices so that you could go to college, and here you are potentially flunking out with dishonesty and making it impossible for you to be admitted to another college. You're throwing away the future that they worked really hard for you to have. Guilt-tripping McGee! But it's true! Okay, God, I got a weird droopy eyelid. Maybe this web series will make me finally address my weird droopy eyelid. Okay, and then another group of people that plagiarism hurts is the college, because it costs money to have SafeAssign, Turnitin.com, all this plagiarism detection software makes a fortune charging schools an arm and a leg to run their software through an algorithm. Or whatever. I don't know what I just said. That didn't make any sense. You know what I mean, though. So they got to shell out for the software. They have to shell out for administrators whose entire job it is to have meeting after meeting with little plagiarists. It wastes a bunch of our time, so we're less efficient, and then we have to apply for development grants for stuff that we would normally just do, except we won't get them because universities don't have any money. So then we're just overworked. But it ends up costing the college more money because also when people flunk out, it's a big attrition rate. It makes the college look bad. And guess what this ends up doing? First of all, it ruins the reputation of your college. And second of all, it costs money and they pass that cost on to you. It's going to make your tuition higher. All right. And then finally, of course, plagiarism hurts you. Right? Because you didn't learn. No one assigns you a paper because they want to read the paper. I guarantee you that I already know what I'm talking about with all of the books that I assign. Sure, I can get a lot of interesting insights from students, but you know what? I would be fine without them. The papers are for you. They're for you to learn to express your thoughts, even difficult thoughts about stuff that's hard, and that's always going to help you in the world, because there aren't a lot of jobs that specifically want somebody articulate in the listing, but if there's somebody articulate and somebody inarticulate, guess who's always going to get the job? Always. Unless the job is for a professional inarticulate person, all right? There's always an exception. And then, of course, it could hurt you because if you get caught, it could ruin your whole future. All right, so that is my litany of people, victims of this victimless crime. Stay tuned for actual tutorials. Bye.